Doesn't that music get you pumped every single time for vidIQ channel audits? Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday yet again. It is episode number 30 of 2022, and it is Tuesday channel audit live streams with your host, with the absolute least, Rob Wilson. You join us here at vidIQ, the creator-obsessed YouTube education channel, and our mission in life is to take you to the next YouTube step. Whether you're struggling with thumbnails, titles, channel focus, you are about to embark on a 2-hour educational experience as we open up our classroom doors and welcome you in. You're going to be vulnerable. We are going to be critical, constructively, but at the end of it, we all hope that we come away with something that we can apply to our channels and maybe be entertained a little bit along the way. As always, I could not do this without my collection of esteemed, intelligent, far wiser than me co-hosts. Introduce him first. As typically always, he is the Wednesday host here at vidIQ, where he'll be taking you through video audits tomorrow. But we'll talk about that perhaps a little bit later. Dan, hey, eyebrows aloft. Welcome, as always. Why do you always seem surprised that you're here on a Tuesdays, 11 o'clock? You know you do audits, right?
This is my study space, and I was working on something, and then you just kind of pulled me in here. So why are you surprised that I'm surprised?
I do wonder why you are in the StreamYard's green room 24/7, so that anybody can just bring you into any live stream at any point. That is a bit weird, but fair enough. I accept it. How are you doing, Dan? Welcome. What's going on?
You know, stuff and things.
Dan is really excited today. We're gonna have to pump up that excitement. But I know somebody who will help us pump up the excitement. She is now. I would class her as an alumni. You know, on SNL, where after 5 appearances, they get like the little
the smoking jacket.
Smoking jacket. I think we need to get one of them for our next guest. I think this may be appearance number 6. She is the COO of Think Media and a legend around these parts. Heather Torres, welcome back. Yay.
Hey, I'm ready to bring the energy. I'm ready to help people. I'm ready to get Dan just a shot of coffee or something over there, Dan. Oh, there we go. I like it. And I would really love a jacket. You know, did you guys play sports in high school? Did you do the sports thing in high school?
I don't like sports.
Can I have like my Letterman jacket and like get like, you know, or like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, you know, like you get the little badges. I feel like you should get so many badges every time you come on the vidIQ shows. It's I really would love that to start. So Rob, can you put in a good word for me?
Yeah, we'll talk to our merch person who doesn't exist, and we'll get that sorted out for you.
Perfect.
All right. Introducing last but not least, I think I may have just terrified this person by saying like 15 minutes beforehand, yeah, just joining us on live stream. And I just imagine this person, he was in a Starbucks queue, saw this message, and then just dropped anything and went and made his way back to the studio. Jeff, welcome. How are you doing? I can hear a little bit of echo on your microphone.
That must be my headphones. No worries, man.
Yeah, there we go.
All
welcome
right,
back. How are you doing? I'm sorry. Were you just like doing other stuff when I said, yeah, just come and join us on the live stream?
Yeah, well, I was out for a walk. So,
all right.
Oh crap! I need to get back home.
I'm pleased to see as well that Jeff is in high res today. Look at that little icon in the top right corner.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit differently now. So the setup's a little bit different. The hardware is a little bit different. So we did some upgrades. I don't know if you guys can even hear this, but
it's really quiet.
Very low. I don't know if mine's any louder.
It comes in low on my side too. I gotta fix that. Yeah.
All right. Come on, stop it with the sound effects. I
feel left out, guys. I don't have my little sound effects clicker yet set up in my room. It's sitting over here in a box, but I'm the one left out today.
Well. Shall we ask the question of the week before we get started? As we like to just be a little self-indulgent as people are joining us this live stream, because there's 400 people watching right now, but I guarantee within about 5 minutes there'll be about 600 people watching, and we don't want to start before everybody's seated and have their popcorn. So the question I wanted to ask today to everybody is, how many live streams have you seen on the vidIQ channel? Now, it could be your first time. Do let us know. Simply put in a number, and if you're one of these OGs, you've been here for years, just take a wild guess. for example, if you were going to ask me how many live streams do I think I've done on vidIQ, I would say I'm probably up to about 350, given that we do one a week, at least for the last 5 years. And now we've done 2 a week for like 2 or 3 years. I'm thinking around 300. Dan, how many live streams do you reckon you've done?
A couple years worth, maybe. So probably over 100, maybe 200-ish, because twice a week now for a while. Yeah,
I think you do more live streams than me at this point, certainly in 2022. Jeff, I think, how many times have we had you on? Probably you're up to about 15 to 20 at this point.
I would say at least, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then Heather, obviously you've had 5 or 6 appearances on our live stream, but how many live streams do you think you've done on the Think Media podcast and on the Think Media channel itself?
Oh, hundreds, definitely hundreds. I mean, we're live over there at least once a week.
Yeah.
And then we're live inside of our groups. I mean, I feel like at least 3 times a week, I'm live somewhere teaching or training or coaching in some capacity.
And does it still feel as nerve-wracking as when you first did it, and the fear that something technically is going to go wrong, or you're going to fluff your words or get mumbled or jumbled? Because I still feel the same. I still have that moment of fear and excitement every time I press go live.
Oh yeah, I still feel it every single time. It's less and less. And now I'm just more comfortable being myself in front of the camera. I talk fast. I use my hands. I feel more comfortable just showing up as me. But definitely every single time I'm like, is my microphone going to work? Am I going to mess up what I'm going to say? Does my hair look okay? Today I put a hat on because it was like bad hair day all the way. And I was like, it's a hat day and that's fine. But how about you, Dan? You still feel nervous?
I don't think Dan cares about anything right now.
I don't know. I'm very indecisive today. But I think setting up my stream, but this is great because Rob's doing all the work for us.
Yeah.
So it's hard to relate to it today. But yeah, tomorrow, ask me tomorrow and I'll probably be, sweating.
Shall I try and make you feel really nervous and anxious by trying to sabotage tomorrow's live stream as well, Dan?
I'll sabotage it myself without your help.
I often do that anyway. We want to say hello to Tish, who, wow, like you've probably been in as many live streams as us. And I think that might actually be the truth. You're one of the original gangsters here around at vidIQ. KNG Gaming claims 350. I don't know if he just borrowed my number and decided that he's been in as many live streams as me, but we'll take it. Joe's phenomenal, over 100. And I think you've been audited at least twice. I'm sorry, Danish Abbas. I just don't believe you. I don't think you've been in 1,000 vidIQ live streams. That might actually be impossible unless you watch all of our live streams twice. But all the power to you. Dr. Mindstone's been in around 6 or 7. Skate Parter in 20. We've got 168 here from Rusty's Car Guy. 992. And who else have we got here? PC 1117 has been in about 200-ish live streams. Now, as we asked that question, just as I predicted, now we have 600 people in the auditorium. I think we're around about full, so I'm going to show you how this live stream works over the next 60 seconds, just in case this is your first time here. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using the link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. The final piece of housekeeping, as always, we get around about 1,000 channel submissions every single week. Unfortunately, as much as we would love to, we cannot audit every single channel. So our advice is, if you have access to a second screen right now, bring up your channel so that when we're talking about the fundamentals of thumbnails, channel focus, titles, you can see how our constructive criticism of a travel vlog could be applied to a tech channel. Because a lot of the things we talk about are shared pieces of knowledge and advice. And just one final thing, we are not auditing channels for the benefit of your channel gaining a shout out. Yes, we have 1 million subscribers. We have hundreds of people watching this live stream, but we're not here to discover new channels and subscribe to them and watch their content. We're all here as a collective community to give advice and strategies to help you with your target audience. You are our target audience, so we want to help you, not to get shout outs which are not going to be of value to anyone. And with all of that being said, shall we start auditing some channels? Jeff, Heather, and Dan, are we all ready?
Yes,
mostly.
Dan, that took a few seconds to decide. I was a bit nervous there, but I think you're good. So I'm going to put you under pressure, first of all, Dan, and I'm going to show you Optimus Productions. And tell us a little bit about what you think this channel is and where the creator is going.
So Transformers, Roadbusters. So it looks like this is a channel that is specifically covering Transformer toys, action figures, things of that nature. You know, this is going to be one of those cases where I really want to go into the videos, kind of like we would tomorrow for tomorrow's video review live stream, which starts right when this live stream would start, except tomorrow. Just,
do you want me to do that then?
Yeah.
Should we do this one? Okay. So I think what's interesting there is that what you're describing is maybe there's not enough messaging in the thumbnail and the title to completely understand what the channel is about. And that may be hampered a little bit by shorts, but we'll click on one and see what happens.
So it looks like stop motion of the toy like transforming.
And to be clear, the sound is on, so I don't think there's any sound whatsoever. No music or sound effects, I think, if I've set up my computer right.
So here's a couple of tips. I think this is cool for shorts. I think that's like a pretty cool concept. One thing I can tell you about shorts and YouTube is they are on people right now about using their tools when you make a short. So if you edited that in Premiere, let's say it's a stop motion, so I imagine you had to use another editing software, and you pulled it onto your phone and then uploaded it from your phone to YouTube Shorts, you would have access to YouTube's other tools. So you could put some little text blurbs there. You could put some trending music, things like that. I feel like since there's no sound in these, this is like perfect. You should really absolutely be taking, you know, trending songs and putting them behind these shorts.
Fantastic idea. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I'm testing this on my own. This is something that YouTube specifically is telling myself and other shorts creators to do. And it seems like it's something that is very, very important to YouTube. They want people using their tools and then providing feedback on those tools. So one thing you could do to help, I think, your views, and I have noticed that it does, you know, for my very, very limited test so far, it does seem like these tools did increase the viewership on what I tested them on. I would be definitely playing with those. In terms of titles, I think they're pretty straightforward. You know, it's just, it is what it is. It's Starscream transformation, stop motion. I might test a little bit more of emotion in these titles. You know, like use some like adjectives like amazing or cool, or, you know, like you're having this thing transform from its robot form into whatever it's generally looking like a vehicle of some kind. So, you know, there's probably a bunch of words you can think of to play around with, like different titles, you know, just to see if that helps as well.
Lovely stuff. Heather, I'm going to pass it over to you. There's often less to say about shorts because we can't really critique the thumbnails in these. But what I am noticing here is that the channel is kind of getting spiky views, even though there's consistency here. Some videos getting thousands of views, others not so much. What are your initial impressions of this channel?
Yeah, first off, I think it's I think Dan and I actually had this conversation last week where we were talking about like how to make great shorts. And one, this to me, just looking at the video of it, is it's entertaining. I'm like, this is cool. I want to watch this, and I'd probably watch it over and over. And I think some of the reasons too for spiky views is that people do that. They want to actually go back and watch it. And so when it is a good short, people are interested and they will watch it over and over and over. I was kind of on the same trend with the idea that the titles weren't quite giving me enough of what I need. But depending on where someone is discovering this content will definitely depend on like, this is not necessarily search worthy content. This is entertainment content. And so my whole thing when it comes to any type of YouTube channel is, are you reverse engineering where you want this channel to go? Like, are you trying to actually, one, make money off of YouTube? Are you wanting to just be an entertainment channel? It's a hobby. So I kind of go deeper in just thinking like, where is this going to go? What's the outcome? What's the clarity for this channel? Because I don't want you to waste your time if you are actually trying to hit a goal that would be maybe financially or something outside of just views. But if it is a hobby Optimus Prime channel, then that's great. You're doing great. And to me, that would be the differentiating factor on here. But I think for me personally, when you're playing these shorts, I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to show my son this after.
Cool.
See what you're doing.
Jeff, there may not be anything left to talk about, but final thoughts, anything you've noticed before we move on?
I love Transformers.
Jeff loves Transformers. That's all we need to know. Moving on to the next channel then. By the way, this was the first channel that submitted through our non-gaming form that hasn't been audited in the past. So then we audit our first gaming channel that submitted through the form. The forms are in the video description, of course. We will be looking at channels later on in this live stream. So the first gaming channel is Raz Vizla with spaces in their channel name. I wonder how that impacts searchability. That's an interesting side question. But again, Dan, you being the gaming aficionado, and then we'll give you a little bit of a verbal break after this one. I'm seeing a horror vibe here.
Yeah, but is it a horror game or are they just horror themed thumbnails of a different game?
Good question.
I really would like to know what game this is. Could you put your mouse on one and just let it like play for a sec? Interesting.
Not entirely clear, is it?
Yeah.
But that could just be our lack of knowledge in the area. That's not necessarily a... that's interesting. So there's a llama game here.
Well, yeah, but with a different thumbnail that doesn't really match.
Interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. So are they always using these thumbnails for different types of gaming videos? Or is it just maybe that's a mini game within that game or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really hard to know what's going on. So I guess the thing we should talk about, ignoring the thumbnails for a minute, are the titles. I think that the titles you're using assume quite a few things. For one, you're kind of assuming that this is a game that like everyone knows. Not only does everyone know the game, but they know the characters. They know like they have a deep understanding of the game. And the reason that might be a problem is if the game is not super popular. Now, it might be. This might be a game that I'm personally just not familiar with, and it might be very, very popular.
I'm seeing indie horror game in the title, Dan, so that could be
that's a
niching down quite significantly.
Yeah, not super popular. So I would kind of say that you can play games like this, but you should probably market them to, I guess, a larger audience by talking about the game itself in a different way in your titles and thumbnails. So you're trying to kind of point people to this game by maybe in a video giving your opinion about it, because these titles are kind of very presumptuous. A demon seduces you with a hot pepper, and then trying to seduce the demon with a hot pepper. Like there's a very specific thing in each title, and the thumbnail represents the specific thing. You're following those instructions. It's just the audience. The target audience is probably very, very small, compared to what you could be doing if you were to maybe be a channel that covered and reviewed an array of indie horror games. And I don't normally recommend people go out and play several games on their channel, but this is, when you're in the indie space, this is kind of the strategy you're going to want to take on. It's okay. What are there games like this in the indie space that I can continually like promote to people? And then the ones that seem to get the biggest response from the audience are the ones maybe you double down on and you start to play them for like a full run, or maybe you stream, for your gameplay, you stream it and then you have review videos. There's a lot of ways you can approach it, but this is going to be a really slow road, I think, for you.
One of the things I've noticed in their thumbnails, at least, when they make shorts, and they seem to be doing this in all of their shorts, is their solution to displaying landscape video games in a portrait mode is to simply just squish everything up. Like they've literally taken a 16:9 and turned it into a 9:16, or the other way around. I can't remember what the aspect ratio is. So from a viewing experience, is this better than huge letterboxing? You know, maybe it is. But again, Dan, thinking of your solution of upload it to the YouTube Shorts player and then add some text in there, maybe at the top or the bottom, and have a little bit of letterboxing, might be a better version of the content than what we're seeing here, especially when there's text on screen, which I can't read.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be squishing the video like this. It's distorted. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. So the way to do this is to crop it, right? So the middle of the screen is what people are going to see. The ends of it are going to get cut off. And usually in a lot of games, that is okay. That's totally fine, because the action will be in the middle of the screen. And the best part is, if there's a moment where the action moves, all you have to do in editing is kind of shift the screen with it. You can just animate the screen so it kind of follows the action. And these are all techniques you can kind of learn over time and get better and better at. But yeah, when it comes to shorts, the viewing experience is going to make or break your short. In the first 2 seconds, if people are seeing it and going, I don't know what this is, and they're swiping away before they even get to like the meat of the content, you're going to end up wasting your time. So definitely crop your shorts. Don't try these weird tricks to like get everything onto the screen. It's never a good experience when people try and cram it all in there.
Dan, thank you for your service. Take a break, hydrate. Let's move on to the next channel. It is Spirit of Japan TV. And Heather, I'm going to let you kick off our discussions on this channel.
Yeah, I like this channel right off the bat because it's pretty intriguing, right? Like, this is a whole channel about kind of what it's like to live in Japan. And I think it's really interesting when new creators come on the platform and they really just bring a different angle to something. This person's really been creating content since August. Congratulations on that. And this actually has kind of that ASMR. So when I click through a couple of the videos just to see like, what kind of content is this? It was, you can hear the crunch in the snow. You can hear the action happening inside of it. My first response though was these thumbnails are really busy. Like, I understand you're taking photos of the city, but it's very busy. And when I see different photos, I'm like, man, that's okay. It's a 4K walk in Tokyo, but also where am I? What am I looking at? This is a lot of things in it. Versus the other one that got 65 views next to it, clearer. It's nature, right? So just looking at that part of it. Also, I get that a lot of people like to do branding style thumbnails. So you've got Spirit of Japan in every single thumbnail. That definitely is a choice. You don't have to do that. That can be something that actually takes away from what you're visually trying to show in it, because that's really just branding on top of what you're doing. And in YouTube land, you don't actually need to do that. Like, once someone clicks through, I would say too that with a channel like this, especially because it is quote unquote an entertainment styled channel, in the videos themselves, I recommend that you have things that prompt people to subscribe, because you're not going to actually say that. So if you're trying to grow subscribers, you would want to have something in there that would prompt someone to want to actually subscribe. When I go into where someone can go if they want to follow you somewhere else on the internet, I'm not seeing anywhere up on the top. You do have the ability to use that up at the top. So if you have an Instagram, or if you have a Patreon or something like that you want to send people to, I think that's a really great place to put your information. And then lastly, on this channel, I would just say, where do you want people to go next? What's their next step? Is it just to watch more? Then are you creating playlists? Are you using the features that YouTube allows for you to be able to have someone consistently play through this? When they are watching one video, do they have another video right after that to go directly to? So that's just some of my critiques, guys. What do you think, Jeff, when you see a channel like this?
I just want to add, that is a knowledge bomb worth of channel fundamentals there. Lots of excellent advice. Jeff, go ahead.
No, I agree. I'm in complete agreement here, and I like these types of channels too. Interested in Japan, I've never been, but seeing the countryside and seeing it in a way where it's just very organic. There isn't I'm not sure, I haven't watched some of their videos, so I don't know if they're doing a lot of talking or narrating, but if it's just the sound effects of what's going on environmentally,
I think it is
actually, yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. So I kind of like the way that's going. Interesting. Normally I'm not a fan of the triple titling. I'm not sure if that's what's normal for this particular niche.
Okay,
but normally I'm not really a fan of it. I get that they're doing it in the the Japanese language and stuff, but it's definitely a triple title, so it's kind of like, I don't know. It kind of bugs me a little
because language isn't used in the there's no narration or any text. It looks like it means that you can have a global universal appeal in terms of a language, but there are ways to. Sorry to interrupt here, Jeff. I just want to mention there are ways to. Set titles depending on a viewer's location. So you could have a Japanese title for a Japanese viewer and an English title for an English viewer. And that might help you remove the clutter in the titles to a certain extent.
Right. Yeah, and I completely agree. That's where you would be looking at your audience demographics and kind of figuring out whether it's worth the effort of going through and doing that.
Yeah.
But I like what I'm seeing here. I mean, thumbnail wise, they're looking good, especially the last three, they seems like they either bumped up the saturation or something, but they really do kind of catch your eye. Like that Cyberpunk Japan, it does kind of attract the eye a lot. So I like what it looks like. But aside from that, I mean, I like what I'm seeing so far.
This is interesting because I think there's a bit of subjective viewpoint here. Heather, I heard you mention that you thought they maybe were a little cluttered. These latest ones of a cityscape, but Jeff, you think they're of a good standard. So that then I was doing like a very quick thumbnail research in this area. And, are there any templates that maybe this creator should be looking at? Should they include some text on the thumbnail, for example? I feel as if this is an area of YouTube where you maybe should be encouraged to use text in the thumbnail to add some context.
Yeah, and I had one more thing I forgot to say about maybe a video idea that this creator could do, especially when you are doing things like music or these to me are like walk along type videos. There's a creator that I follow and they do like rain videos, right? And what they'll do is they'll put out the whole week's worth of videos individually. So a 12-minute video, 15-minute video, 17-minute video, right? 12-minute video. And then on the weekend, they actually upload like an hour and a half long video. And it's all of that content just stitched together because you can get more views by having a longer view duration on, or when you have a longer video, you can get a longer view duration. It helps your analytics, but it also just helps people get more in tune with the content you're making. And the longer someone's watching videos on your channel, the more that people watch videos on your channel, the more those videos are recommended on their home feed. So if you already have this content, maybe it's 3 different cityscapes, or it's 3 nature walks, or it's a 2-hour nature walk. If someone's already watching 12 minutes, then try a 45-minute video, try a 2-hour video, and just experiment with the length because you already have this great content. And actually, this is for any creator. We do this at Think Media all the time. We call them marathon videos. We'll have 3 videos that are around the same topic, and we will just stitch them together to make its own video. So that's just an option for someone like this who's creating great work, but could actually utilize that content in another format.
That's a great piece of advice. I'm just trying to find the example we recently did. This one here, which is an hour and 22. Dan and I made a series of videos, each like 10, 50 minutes long, like how to get from 0 to 100 subscribers, then to 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. And then a few months later, we collated all of those videos together into this, I guess, movie version of the video, like an hour and a half. And it's very much driven towards new viewers. We don't necessarily want regular viewers rewatching content, but because it's kind of like a flagship piece of content, the ultimate guide, we thought it would be really appealing to the audience, and it seems to be proven out. And as you say, we got all very high watch time on that video, Heather. So great example of repurposing content and making videos to test different video lengths as well. Now, let's everybody if you're finding Heather's advice and knowledge and wisdom useful, please express that with the appropriate emoji in the chat. And let's learn a little bit more about Heather, because we have a huge partnership with Heather and the Think Media team. And I kind of feel as if this is like the two giants, the conglomerates of YouTube education, getting together to provide all of this useful education. Heather, your channel has you and your team's channel has 2 million subscribers. You have 178 million views. That's all incredible. Why do so many people watch Think Media? What can we get there?
Yeah. Well, I think it's amazing that vidIQ and Think Media have come together to help the creator economy. It's one of the fastest growing small business types, and we're here as educators to really help you do that. And when you go to Think Media, you'll find a little bit different style content than vidIQ, which I think is complementary, which is why we can really go deep in working with each other. We really help you with the tips and the tools. And a big part of what we do is the tools side of it, because people will get the gear and they'll never use it. And so we want to encourage you to figure out how to actually set up your YouTube studio, what type of camera is right for you, how to use your microphone, how to live stream, and how to actually make content that's going to get views. We're in the business of helping to double the creator economy in the next 10 years. And so we want to be putting out as much content as we can to be able to do that. So we're experimenting with tons of different style of content. And that's what you can find over on that channel with a team of creators. I think that's another big piece that vidIQ and Think Media do, is we're a team of creators helping to bring our specialties and our experience to the platform. So that's what you can find over at Think Media.
And I hear that you have a very special event going on tomorrow that we just wanted to let our audience know about. And that is a masterclass, if I'm correct there.
Yeah. So we 2 times a month, we teach free YouTube training, not on YouTube.
Free?
Outside. Yeah, it's free.
I like the sound of that. Free.
And so myself or the CEO, Sean Cannell, we will be teaching free classes. And so this is our next free class we have available tomorrow. You can sign up for that. And then we help you go to the next step if you want to go deeper in education.
Awesome. Well, I've just put a link in the description for this free masterclass. So if you are interested, just refresh your live stream now, and you should be able to click on the link and sign up for some free goodies. We're always up for stuff that we can offer you for free. So that is Heather. That is Think Media. We've just audited the Spirit of Japan, and the next channel we are going to look at is Car Wash Chronicles. And I think this is a perfect example of where there is an audience for all types of content. So if you want to know, presumably, how to run a car wash, 17,000 people have already expressed their interest in this channel. Dan, I think you picked this one. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, this was a really cool channel that popped up in the form, and I had to pick it. So I was shocked at the amount of subscribers for a car wash channel, right? Like, what's this channel going to be about? And I was going through some of the videos, and what I noticed was pretty interesting. So they have a couple different styles of videos. They have the car wash laundromat talk. So they kind of do live streams where they just kind of talk with their friends.
So you clean up the whole process.
Sorry.
I'm guessing from the perspective of being car wash owners, you know. And then they have some videos from the perspective of owning a car wash, and they seem to be using those videos to target people who happen to own cars, right? People who want to wash their cars. But then you'll notice some videos on the channel where they're talking about the experience of owning a car wash, and they seem to be targeting people who might also maybe want to own car washes themselves. So they're kind of tackling this at all these different angles. And I would be looking at the data. I think all of that's worth testing. But the amount of people who own cars and want to wash them is probably much greater than the amount of people who want to own car washes. And so I would have to imagine that your data might reveal that people who are interested in watching car wash content of cars being washed is, you know, probably larger. But again, you have access to your data. I don't. It's just one of the things I noticed about who they were trying to target with their content. It doesn't feel like they have like the clearest vision of that, or maybe they are just in that testing phase to figure that out. So that was the big thing I noticed.
I saw in this video that it was very much like a vlog style, and they were putting a lot of effort into almost showing you like the car wash experience, doing a little bit of traveling, maybe fixing stuff, buying stuff. And then this video was very much to camera, kind of educational. So yeah, there's definitely a difference there in kind of audience intent. So what audience they're appealing to. Heather, I know you're always big on what comes next for a creator when they establish a channel and an audience, and this one seems primed for additional revenue stream incomes. So maybe let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's exactly where I went to. I think this is one of those great types of channels that can partner well with brands. So what type of brands want to reach the same audience that this company has? I would say any type of brand that's doing car accessories or car products would be a great one. Also, affiliate marketing. This one is prime for affiliate marketing because people are always buying different things for their car. So I think this is great because, you know, they're sending you directly to the coin part for it. But also, if you are targeting consumers, then you would want to have consumer products. If you're targeting business owners, you would have business products. And so I think that's a great, those are two different ways that you could do that. And I would say this to me also is really prime for a digital product. If you have a success in a area, you can create a digital product around that area and you can charge people for it. And that helps people have a shorter learning curve. So this could be something that they go down that road with. And that's how you make YouTube really profitable, is when you've got an iceberg, which is your YouTube channel. But then below that iceberg is where you have all these other revenue streams that are helping you build that income to help you become a full-time YouTuber faster.
I remember watching a similar type of video to this on TikTok where it was somebody just, I think they owned a laundromat, and there was kind of like a visual ASMR experience to this, like taking all of the coins out and counting them. And then I remember they were putting figures on screen as to how much they were earning per washing machine they were earning. And I'm glad to see this creator's already done something like that. And it's one of the most accessible videos to even a layman like me. I might not be interested in car wash per se, but I'm interested in that concept of how much does a small business owner earn from something like this. Jeff, let's go back to basics on this channel a little bit and talk about thumbnails. Good, bad, could do with some work, fit the audience.
I mean, one of the things that kind of gets me on these thumbnails is the fact that there's a lot of variety here. So like the color of the text keeps changing. Sometimes the size of the text changes. So it kind of throws me off. There isn't something that kind of ties them together, unfortunately. And then we've also got some red text, like a day at the car wash is live and uncensored.
Just say that again, Jeff. What was that?
The red text.
Okay, just making sure everybody knows that. Red text on thumbnails is generally not a good idea because it's so difficult to read. Yeah. Please continue.
No, for sure. And that's just one of the things where sometimes it's just a bit tough to read. Sometimes there's a bit too many words. So they just kind of have to be careful with that a little bit. And then even some of them, they have trouble separating themselves from the backdrop in these photos. Whether it's done by a stroke, whether it's done with a little bit of a blur, just something to kind of add a bit of separation, add a bit of depth to it. To kind of improve it a little bit. But, you know, many channels that I speak with don't do any thumbnail research whatsoever in their niche, like period. So I usually tell them like, hey, look at other channels, look at what is working, what's actually getting clicked, what works for this particular audience. So you can start pulling some of that inspiration because many times, you know, we've heard Sean say that success leaves clues, and that's something that you want to pay attention to. So, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I don't see why it would be too difficult to do. Anytime that I'm working on a video, that's one of the very first things. Once I have my topic and research done and I've worked out my title, then I start looking at the thumbnails. And this is all before I even turn on the camera. So this is one of the things where it takes a few minutes. You just kind of look up those search terms, see what it is, see what kind of thumbnails are coming up, and get your inspiration from that.
I don't want the creator to take this the wrong way, but I think this is one of our thumbnails. These thumbnails kind of give me the vibe of a used car salesman, and they feel a little bit amateur and tacky in one sense. And maybe I'm alienating all of our car salesman creators here, or you know, like the traditional stereotype of them in a movie. Yeah. But then I look at this thumbnail and think, now this is upmarket, this is classy. this just jumps out of the screen. I want this creator's thumbnails to look like this. If it's just a step up from what else I'm seeing in the car wash area of YouTube.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. That's one of the things that can really work in their favor, is just to kind of fix their packaging, because these videos are their product, and getting people in the door is such a big deal. So getting them in, and then obviously, you know, after that, focusing on whatever the goal of the channel is, whether it's growing it, whether it's teaching people how to start these small businesses, whether it's creating additional side revenue through affiliate linking, whatever it might be. But you got to get them in the door.
So we love this channel in terms of how they've already built their audience on YouTube and where they can go next. And there's so many things to talk about with this channel. So if you are watching on the replay, maybe you've just rewatched the last 5-10 minutes, because there's so much good stuff here, but also advice for the next step for this channel. So that was Car Wash Chronicles. The next channel we are going to look at here is Noodles Ky. Who picked this channel? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I picked this one
Cool.
because I think it's really fun to see different types of reaction channels. That's exactly what this one is. And I can tell right away because it says react with, and then on the thumbnail, it says react. So I thought that was really a really great start, is that I know what your target audience, or who your target audience is, in terms of, are you educational? Are you entertainment? And so right away, I know that you are entertainment. Now, yes, thank you, Rob. Rob clicked right on where I wanted to go. I'm not actually sure what, so I'm glad that you have already started, but I'm still kind of confused on what I'm going to get here. So what's the value proposition? This is a great place if you want to be able to connect with brands, if you want to be more professional on YouTube. You want to make sure that you're filling out all the pieces that can help you be professional. And that would be inside of your description. That's a big part of where companies will go if they want to be able to partner with you. And for a business model with a React channel, that's a really great way to go, is to have different types of brands to be part of your channel. Now, I'm not huge in the React space, so I'd love anyone else's commentary on this. I would say that when I go, again, back to the basics of what I'm of YouTube and YouTube thumbnails, I'm feeling like they're very busy because it's two faces and then like a photo between. So I'm trying to figure out, like, right away, if I were to see that in my feed, what am I looking at? Also, I like that you are showing your reaction, your face, but I don't think it actually has to have two faces in it. It could be just one face that's really good versus always having the two faces. And if it were me, I would say that the cool headphones and kind of that vibe, that's a cool differentiator on this platform. So maybe that being you testing out, is the female better than the male in terms of the face that is part of the React channel. Also, back to what Jeff just said with success leaves clues. It's interesting to me that sometimes people will only do one thing once. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, Heather, but here's what I mean. If you go to your most popular videos, you're reacting to this. I think it's an artist. I think you're reacting to an artist. I think that's what it is. CK, or do you guys know who CK is? Is it an artist?
Not
a clue. It's a video, right? Music video, artist. I would say that there's definitely popularity around that. 76,000 views. What else could you react with that same person, that same influencer? So to me, that's called influence surfing. And I would make 7 videos with that influencer in them versus just one video. If your target is to get the most views, so that you then can build a business model around a React channel. What else do you guys see?
I want to just add here as well, in terms of thumbnails. These thumbnails seem a little bit better than the current ones, and I think it's because, although they are still a little chaotic, they tried to do some color differentiation between what they're reacting to, and then themselves with the color backgrounds. But also this, I know it's a small thing, but this little tear down the thumbnail really frames it quite well. And I'm just wondering why they abandoned that strategy, because these ones feel as if they've regressed somewhat in their thumbnail style.
Yeah, especially with the color, that blue. I mean, your top, if you go back, success leaves clues. Your 1, 2, 3, 4, your top 4 videos on that top 5 have a blue background. Those are the kinds of things I look at and I'm like, okay, more blue. Got it. I'll do more blue.
I think with the titles, this is another opportunity for this channel to go in and, give their opinions a little bit. They did have some success from the past with their current titling structure. That could have everything to do, like you said, Heather, from like the person they're reacting to. But I kind of wonder if these newer videos, and by the way, they're posting a ton of content.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wonder with these newer videos if they were to inject a little more of their opinion in them, if that would help. There's a Mr. Beast example for everything. He's got a great reaction channel. I wouldn't take all the inspiration from that. He's obviously at a way different level, but you could kind of get a sense for what I mean if you go to his channel and you see how the titles are done. They almost feel like they are videos that he made, not that he's reacting to. The most expensive hotel room, right? Like, I'm not saying you should do this because you're not Mr. Beast, but to just get a little bit of inspiration from this in terms of the clarity on these thumbnails, very, very nice, very clear what they are. And then the way they're titled it's almost like it's not a reaction video. You have to kind of know him to do that. I'm saying you should go somewhere in the middle, of what you're doing and what he's doing, and give your opinion a little bit more in your titles. Like, give us a taste of what this reaction might be like. Still include the name of the person you're reacting to, get all that good stuff in there. But yeah, I think this is a great start. They obviously have, a lot of data here from posting several videos a day. I want to see the spikiness in views, remedied a bit.
Let's talk about that then a little bit. Is there such a thing as viewer fatigue? Because all of these videos were in the last 24 hours, more or less. So what's that? 13 videos or more. And while some of them are shorts, how many long form pieces of content are there? Like 4, 5 pieces of long form content in the last 24 hours. Do you think it gets to a point where a viewer says, I don't want to watch this amount of content from one channel. I prefer to watch it once a day or 2 or 3 times a week. Is there ever a time where you can be creating too much content? I guess is my main question here.
I feel like this is something that's unique to reaction channels. A lot of reaction channels have this ability because reaction content is objectively easy to make compared to other types of content, because you are simply giving your opinion on something, which is what we're doing, right? We're reacting to these channels. This is why we can sit here for 2 hours. We can get a lot done. If we were to chop these up into videos, we would have a whole bunch of 10-minute videos, right? So that's kind of the way they're producing content. I've seen reaction channels do this. So is it too much? I think from our perspective, yes, but I would be looking at the other reaction channels and in your space and honestly kind of following their lead.
Yeah, but you can also hurt yourself too by uploading too many of these videos, because YouTube will only notify your viewers 3 times in 24 hours.
Correct.
So if you're putting up 5, 6, 7 videos, cool. The first 3 are going to get that push, but the other 3, they might not. They might perform well, they might not. But if you notice a pattern where after the 3rd video, that those videos are normally, like on a daily basis, not doing as well as the first 3, that could have something to do with your initial view velocity, because it's not getting pushed to your regular viewers or to your returning viewers. So that's something to keep in mind. That's an experiment that we ran with a reaction channel that we were working with, and they slowed down a little bit. They were still doing their shorts, but on their main content, they reduced it to 3 per day, and it seemed to work a little bit better for them. It sort of got steadier, good view numbers versus 6, 7 videos, regular videos during the day, mind you. And, half of them wouldn't perform as well as the other half. So it's just something to think about.
And then there's another question of, can you maybe create smarter? So what I mean by that is, instead of making 5 videos in a single day, maybe you make 2 or 3, and then you spend that extra time tweaking the thumbnails so they're a little bit better, or thinking more about the title strategy, so that you're, I guess, applying more time and effort to the most important things on a video in terms of getting success as a smaller creator, which is titles, thumbnails, and that video hook. Those are the things that are going to be the best positive signals to send to YouTube, which then hopefully means that they're going to start to share your content with more of an audience as you create content.
Yeah, many of the reaction channels that I've spoken with or worked with were taking the spaghetti at the wall approach, you
Right.
know, and it's just flood it with everything you can, but no real strategy behind it. But then the ones who actually start thinking about it a little bit deeper, experimenting, especially like the channel that I work with was a couples channel like this. They figured out, instead of having both of them on the thumbnail, that having the wife on the thumbnail, her reaction face got higher click-through rate than his. So they were doing both. Then they experimented with her. Then they experimented with just him, 2 elements, her and whatever the video was. And it was like 2% difference with just her. And that was from them experimenting with it. And now that works. They figured that out. So it's just about testing and figuring out what works, but really putting some strategy into it can work a lot better than just let's throw everything at the wall and hope for the best.
I mean, let's be honest, from a creator point of view, it doesn't seem worth it to make a reaction video that's 5 minutes long and have only 10 people watch it. It feels like there needs to be perhaps a little bit of a rethink or a re-strategizing before you make the next video, if that's what continues to happen with that content day after day. And you obviously have a lot of data, and audience retention is probably going to tell you a lot as to why that might be happening.
Yeah.
But that is Noodles and Ky, and we wish you the best of luck going forward. Now, what I do want to stress at this point, we've been auditing channels for nearly 1 hour, and we'll be auditing channels for another hour, but we can't do it 24/7. We are humans, but we do have some very sophisticated, intelligent, underpaid robots that are going to help you 24/7. And what I mean by that are our own vidIQ tools. So let's just imagine, for example, we wanted to be a sneaky spy and take a look at Think Media and think, how can Think Media's content help leverage our own vidIQ content in terms of YouTube education? And first of all, we can go to the stats, and this is one of our free tools, and we can see, Heather, that you're up 4% on views month over month. So congratulations for that. Maybe the reason for that is because you're publishing slightly more videos. You've done 7% more videos this month, and that's because you're trying to publish a video every single day at this point, right? You've managed to get up to that cadence, which is incredible.
Yep, video every single day. We're doing 5 full-length videos and at least 2 shorts on this channel, and then on our other channel, we're bumping that up to 3 times a week. So, but we also have a team. So this is a team of creators making content, and we are on the more strategy right now.
So one of the things I've learned there from one of our free tools is that YouTube education channels can probably sustain 1 video a day from the creators. Brilliant. Okay, let's go into a little bit more detail. Let's click this trending tool. And this is one of our more sophisticated boost tools, and find out what is working for Think Media on a long-term basis. And I can see that whenever you provide popular sound effects for people, I don't know, that might be one of them, or that might be another sound effect, that the creators really get value from this, Heather. So I guess this is one of these strategies that maybe once or twice a year you're providing free sound effects, because people are always asking about royalty-free music and sound effects. You're providing that, and they're getting millions of views, these videos.
Yeah, it's been, we tested it out. What was it, a year ago? I think is when the first video came out. We were in partnership with a company that was one of the video ideas that they had pitched to us.
Yeah.
And since then we just keep doing them because there's more great sounds that content creators need. So yeah, it's been a great strategy.
So thank you, whoever did that. So here's a key thing. This video that is a year old is still getting 375 views per hour right now, which is what, about 8,000 views per day. Incredible. So it tells vidIQ that maybe we'd start to think about offering free products and services and tools in our videos where possible. But on top of this, we can see that when Think Media goes back to basics, like just creating a YouTube channel from scratch in 5 minutes, 1 million views. Congratulations to Nolan. I tried to steal that. I've just realized how annoying that is when somebody else plays the sound effects. I tried to steal that idea, and I've made a video about how to start a YouTube channel in 5 minutes. And then this one, I'm fascinated by, Heather. This is such an anomaly. Something that you think is so simple and obvious and maybe doesn't require a tutorial on. This video that's 7 months old about how to enable comments has got nearly 500,000 views and gets 100 views per hour right now. That's incredible. It's one of those weird oddities that I've found from the channel And again, it maybe tells us, do we need to make some sort of educational content on that? And, you know, the importance of turning on comments and turning them off and the controls behind it in terms of blocking comments and whatnot, blocked words. Interesting stuff there. That to see that has 500,000 views is really interesting. But we don't stop there, because we could go even more sneak attack on Think Media, and we can click into our competitors tool and see how Think Media is performing against not only us, but also other YouTube education channels. And I'm pleased to say, Heather, that right now you are crushing it with nearly 4 million views per month, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Rob, you did say there was a 4% increase on views. I can tell you, it gets harder to increase that number when the views are up higher, right? So
that is
4% is like a huge amount when your views are that high.
Yeah, for you, it's a couple of 100,000 views, isn't it? Per month, which is great. So 4 million views per month. We are getting minus 1.5 million views per month right now. Bit odd. I can tell you why that is. It's because we unlisted some of our live streams, which had millions of views, but they couldn't be watched. So that's why we are in the dumpster fire right now in terms of views. But look, what I'm looking at here is all of the other creators in our space: Roberto Blake, Paddy Galway, channel makers, creator insiders. We're looking at how all of these channels are performing along with us. And then at the bottom of the screen, we can see which of the best performing videos in the YouTube education space right now. Like I saw, it looks like also you are testing collaborative conversations, Heather, where Nolan and Omar had a conversation about the easiest ways to grow on YouTube. And that video is performing really well for you. Then you've got other ones here about the tools that you're doing. And I've noticed this one that you launched today. Vlogging is dead, like a controversial video title, but people are clicking on it. And you're getting views, which is good to see. And this is all through adding other channels as competitors through the vidIQ tools, and then doing a little bit more investigation through them. And the reason I'm telling you all of this is because it's just one of our vidIQ boost tools. And all of those boost tools right now can be acquired for 35% less than usual. If you sign up to one of our monthly vidIQ boost programs, for the next 6 months, you will get boost for 35% off, which is an incredible deal. There is a link in the description if you want to take advantage of that. There is also a code running along the bottom of the screen right now, which is 2022 Summer Boost. Just apply that in the payments plans. And if you are a brand new customer here at vidIQ, you'll get 35% off boost for the rest of the year. Perfect timing. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Let's now segue back into some channel audits, and we're going to look at a channel which I'm going to pronounce incorrectly because I'm never sure how to pronounce this first word. Azure Academy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Jeff, I'm going to let you lead on this one. What are we looking at here?
Let's see. Sorry, I got to make it bigger on my screen here. So Watch, Learn, Do new videos every week. Azure Academy, but I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at here. So I have a feeling like maybe this is IT or some sort of program in general, but I'm just not familiar. So I don't know if you want to look at their about and see if we can take a look.
It's cloud-based technology, right? I think this is just a word that some of us might not be familiar with in the tech space.
So Microsoft Azure Principal. Yeah, I'm not in IT, so I wouldn't know. But okay, so that looks like that's what this is about. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense then. That helps. I mean, 42,000 subscribers, so obviously they are providing value. Yeah. I like the simplicity of the thumbnails, but the pictures that they've taken for these thumbnails are very low res. So I'm assuming that this creator has a modern phone. I would definitely retake these pictures, the different reactions, the different poses, just take an hour or two, take all these pictures. And that way, moving forward, you can have these pictures that you can cut out and move around to your thumbnails, but they'll at least be high res. You'll be able to see yourself a lot clearer. But aside from that, and then also different shirt colors, like you can change your shirt around so you can have kind of different looks and stuff. I know our buddy Roberto Blake, that's a big thing that he does. You'll just do a photo shoot day and kind of do that stuff. So,
certainly an improvement though, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, because the old ones were
chaos.
Yeah, wildly cluttered. So yeah, this has got to be some of the most cluttered thumbnails I think I've ever seen. I'm glad that they've gone the simplified route, and hopefully they're seeing better click-through because of that. So let's see.
What do we think of the topics and the titling then, Heather or Dan?
I like where these are going. I think, well, okay, hold on. Okay. So I like where they're going, except it's difficult because they're getting a lot of views with this repetitive strategy, which I like. So
are you meaning like every Azure admin needs this structure here? Yeah.
To know this, to start using this, to see this. We I was gonna say they're very repetitive, but we tell people to do this, and it seems like it's working. Are we looking at the most popular? Or are we looking at the latest?
Just the latest.
5 hours. Okay.
And good view counts here, like 5,000, 9,000, 2,000. So I'll sort by most popular.
Yeah, pretty strong counts there.
Yeah. So okay, so the older videos are, the thumbnails are not as good, but they're obviously very helpful. They wouldn't get this many views if people weren't finding them helpful. So I like where they're going in terms of title and thumbnail in that case. What I would say is that you found a titling structure that works. I do feel like because of how similar the thumbnails look and how similar the titles are, it could still trick the regular viewers, right? They could still feel like, I feel like I've seen this video before. So I would be playing with different arrangements of this title. When we find a title that works for us, we're like, oh, this is a title that works, how to get 1,000 subscribers. Or lately it's been small channels or small YouTubers. It can be, the words themselves aren't magic, right? As long as the messaging is the same, you can still captivate the audience that you're captivating. It's just kind of getting tricky with like how you phrase these. So don't be afraid, especially once this titling structure is starting to feel like it's losing traction for you. Don't be afraid to play around with rearranging this, because I noticed that the first video where you tried it had 9,000 views. The next video had 5,000 views, and it could catch up.
Right,
And
I see. Yeah.
The latest video is 400 views, but it's from 5 hours ago. They're all doing objectively good, but will they ever get as many views as the first video in the series? Maybe not. I want each of your videos to get more views than the last one. So do think about playing with these. You have our permission to do that.
Heather, general thoughts on this channel?
Yeah, I picked up the same thing, Dan, of just like the same, until I really looked at them, I was like, oh, they are different. And that is a big key of if the person you're trying to reach picks up their phone or gets on their computer, they hit the home page and they're like, oh yeah, I already watched that one, because they're so similar. So even a change in the color of the background, even in a change of, I like that you did needs to know, needs to see, I like those pieces because we play with that all the time on Think Media. But I would say to me, it's the same thing that Dan said, that differentiating between what the thumbnail actually looks like to help with that. I would also say, going back to just commenting, you're doing a great job. Like if you look at your old videos and you look at your new videos, you're starting to figure out your exact audience. And that's what I want to encourage all creators to do, is even though, Jeff and I don't know anything about Azure, I don't even know what that is. Someone does. And obviously enough people do that they are interested to come back over and over and over. And I like that you called out exactly who this video is for. If you are Azure admin, that's an even bigger thing. Like not even that Azure, and I hope I'm saying this right, but that you're an Azure admin is even a bigger deal. So I also think that when you're looking at these different videos, this to me would be considered breakout videos. When you look at the other videos you were doing, and then you see these videos, these are breakout videos. So go deeper in the comments of these videos and ask people, what else do you want to see? Because these people that are watching this video are the exact audience that you're trying to reach. So go deeper with them to figure out how you can help them more with the videos that you have upcoming.
Now, I left this video running a bit because I was just intrigued to see how the creator is pitching what I think to a layman would be a pretty dry, boring topic. But as you can see with them using the green screen and this B-roll, they're certainly adding some entertainment into their education. And I think that's absolutely key. I think they're doing a brilliant job there. So I just wanted to give them a big thumbs up. And this is something we'd talk a lot more about if we were doing a video review tomorrow. So yeah, some really good stuff there. But I do want to say just one thing about this channel. Success leaves clues. A vidIQ lawsuit is coming to you. And I'll tell you why. Okay, let's have a look at this thumbnail. All right, purple background, don't pick this image. If we go to one of our videos from over a year ago, don't pick this. Some similarities there. And also, when I look at the channel, you see this like globe ball thing in the background? That's from one of our screenshots. That is. Can you see our like little globe thing in the background? They've taken it from us and changed the colors. And I don't know if that sits very well with me. I'm thinking of reporting this video.
Maybe the software does that. Like maybe that's the whole point of it. And they're just pointing right at it. Like you can steal stuff too.
Maybe it is. You're absolutely right. I am, of course, joking. We don't mind. It's great to see that you're using our kind of thumbnails as a reference point, and we've talked about how they've improved your channel. So we're more than happy for you to take a little bit of artistic license and inspiration from us. So congratulations, Azure Academy. And now I think it might be time for Jeff's favorite part of the show. Yes, folks, welcome to hour 2 of the live stream. And what happens now is that you've all been submitting your channels in the forms, the non-gaming one and the gaming form. And we now have this claw that's going to pick out random balls from those that have been submitted. Let's just check where we are. We have 536 non-gaming channel submissions. We have 577 gaming channel submissions. That's a lot of people, as always. So we will adjust our claw to make sure that it picks from all of the channels available. And Jeff, whenever you're ready, let's do this.
The claw.
All right. It is channel 332. So what we do is we take that number, we put it into our form, we grab the channel URL, and now we are coming across these channels for the first time ever. We've not seen them at all. We've not pre-selected them. Imagine we are a viewer coming to your channel for the very first time. Do we know whether we're in the right place instantly? And that can be so important with audience appreciation and intent. So we're going to look at Call of Facts, and we'll kick it off with Heather. What are your first impressions on this one?
Well, first impressions, big, bold, thumbnails. So I'm like, okay, it's a facts channel. That's where I'm going. Facts about what? This is kind of like a lot of random facts. So that's kind of confusing me a little bit. Not necessarily like facts in one area. And then also seeing there's a lot of videos being posted with no views. So I think that there should be more research being done prior to actually making this this type of content. What do you guys see?
So I'm wondering if the video format is something that people enjoy, in that there's no narration, there's some music, there's some static text, and then a bit of rolling text, and then static images. My guess.
Look at why babies can't have kneecaps, and then something about Tupac. What are we doing?
Oh yeah. So it's just one random. So here we are. So the baby kneecap comes in after 30 seconds. So it's like you're taking one fact from lots of random facts, and maybe the facts need to be a little more categorized into, maybe it's something about the solar system. All of these facts in this video are about the solar system or city density or something along those lines. Dan, Jeff, what are your thoughts on this one?
Personally, I don't really come to YouTube to read videos.
Right.
So that's just me. I don't. I mean, if something pertinent comes up during a video that needs to be read, cool, I'll pause it and read it, whatever. But narration, man, especially when you're talking facts and stuff, because I do watch some facts channels, and the narration is key. You know, that really is what helps, you know, kind of keep you going. It's the entertainment factor. So if I want to read this stuff, if I want to read what the top facts about men are, that sounds like a blog post, not a YouTube video to me personally. So, and if you're just going to put text up on the screen, all right, cool. But I'm clicking off personally. As a viewer, I'm clicking away. because I didn't come here to read. I came here to have, watch a video. So
Yeah.
I think a remedy for that, a lot of people would go to robot voice. We would advise against that just because it's very grating. A lot of people don't like the robot voice. What I would say is it's not super expensive to find somebody on like Fiverr or somewhere like that to actually read your scripts for you. And what you can do to save some money is bulk your scripts together, right? So you already have all these facts that you're going to be writing out. So you have them read off like a whole bunch. It's like one big upfront cost, and then you've got your videos for like the next however many uploads already read out loud, and you just kind of use the same voice actor for videos going forward.
Can I throw out a potential conspiracy theory here?
Yeah,
because even though we have some constructive criticism for this channel, you would still argue that the thumbnails are of a decent standard.
Yeah.
You would still argue that the titles are factual and there's some relevancy here. And yet the videos are literally getting 0 views. Now, if I was a creator, I'd still be like asking the question, how can these videos be getting absolutely no views whatsoever? Surely YouTube would be sharing my content out to at least a few people and getting clicks. This just seems I hesitate to start using words like shadow banned, or there's something fundamentally handicapped on this channel, but it just seems odd. Does anybody else agree with my conspiracy theory? And maybe this channel should just start a brand new channel from scratch, since they're not really getting any views on this channel. I'm just putting it out there as something seems odd about this channel to have no views whatsoever on all of the videos that they're publishing.
Yeah, Rob, if you scroll, that's what I was gonna say. Is it all of the, because it no views, no views, no
Yeah,
views, no
literally.
Yeah,
views.
this is wild.
Something is odd. The channel started end of April and I've only got 300 views. It does seem peculiar, and I don't have an answer as to why that is.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. I've never seen a channel that's posting content with 0 views, no views. Maybe it has to do with if they're posting it, unlisting it, posting it again, but it would still.
There are issues with this content.
Yeah,
but it's not issues to the point where they should be. They're not
0
getting
views.
the content being shared at all.
Mhm.
It's really odd to me.
Yeah.
I would be curious if you downloaded this content, started a new channel, re-uploaded it, just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
That
I
would be an
agree.
experiment.
Yeah. Because I've seen channels that are legit restricted. Like you click on restricted mode and our entire channel disappears, that are getting way more views than this. And I mean thousands and thousands of views. So definitely something a bit weird. I would take Heather's advice and just as an experiment, starting a second channel is free. Go ahead and do that. Upload the videos. I wouldn't release them all at the exact same moment.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe schedule them out, 1 a day or 2 a day, whatever it is, and see how that plays out. And if that channel gets views, then go ahead and remove these videos, shut this channel down, and just start rocking with the other one.
I mean, maybe I'm purely speculating here. The video got a community guideline strike, and that somehow held it back. Or one of the videos early on got age restricted, and that's kind of put a permanent marker on the channel. I don't know, but there's something curious, and I can't explain why the last 2 weeks worth of videos have less than 10 views between them. That shouldn't normally be the case on YouTube. So an odd one, truly an odd one there. Let's draw out another one then. Let's go to the gaming channel, and we're going to go 458. And let's see what the Constant Gaming KNG has to offer us. 29 subscribers. And I'm seeing several games being played here. Some anime, some Far Cry 6, The Surge 2 for a little bit, then Control. I don't know if any of these games are recent either.
It doesn't feel like they are. I'm not familiar with The Surge. I'm pretty sure Far Cry 6 is old now. It does look like they are playing a lot of different things. It's kind of that symptom of like, I have a gaming channel and I like games. I like all kinds of games, and I'm going to play the games on my gaming channel. And that's totally fine, especially if this is like a hobby for you and you don't have any like crazy goals right now to get a certain milestone by a certain time frame, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The reason I mention that is because if you do have those ambitions and you did submit your channel, so you may, to achieve that, you're going to want to focus the channel. And generally speaking, I say the easiest way to do this is focus on one game. That advice comes from the fact that focusing on one game is an easy way to conceptualize focusing on one audience. But there are gaming channels that can play multiple games if they appeal to the same audience. I would still, even if you feel confident, I would still start with one game before you move into type of game. And pick your favorite one and start there and then go and see, okay, my favorite one is Far Cry 6. How are people doing today with Far Cry 6? If I go on YouTube, are there videos being posted that are recent that are getting a satisfactory amount of views? What's my ceiling here? How much can I hope to get? And then I would let that help make the determination if Far Cry 6 is where you want to go or not.
As I was mousing over some of these, Dan, I don't know if this is the truth, but it looks as if a lot of them are maybe just showing cutscenes from the games. Like, we're just going to show you the ending of Far Cry. I don't know if that includes any commentary, but is that just maybe taking content from the game with no transformational value to it? That could be a question and a challenge for the creator if they're trying to create unique content for an audience as well.
Yeah, that's also. Are they all like that, or do you think that?
I'm just mousing over and I'm seeing cutscenes, but then I jumped into one of the videos and I saw gameplay, but I didn't necessarily see the creator on screen. I think there was some narration, but yeah, I'm not sure what their angle is with their content.
Yeah. Once you determine what kind of audience you would like to target with your content, part of that determination also needs to include what are each of my videos going to offer that audience? Am I trying to make them laugh? Am I trying to inform them about something in this game? Am I trying to show them some cool tricks and tips and things like that? Am I trying to show them how great I am at the game or how bad I am at the game? All of these things factor into making a good click-worthy video.
All right, then let's move on to the next channel. We're going to split our time between non-gaming and gaming channels, just to ensure that there's variety and we're not focusing on one particular topic. But we do appreciate that there are a lot of gaming channels that submit, which is why we have its own individual form. Right, Cash de Cool de Car Care. I don't know if you say that really fast. Does it make it rhythmically interesting? Cash de Cool de Car Care.
Name's a bit wordy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to remember it in 10 minutes. If you ask me what this channel name is in 10 minutes, I'll have probably forgotten. But what is it about? Let's start with you, Jeff.
So from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't appear to be just like car wash, at least from what I'm looking here, because it seems like car care might fall under maintenance as well. But we'd have to take a deeper dive into their channel to kind of see, because it could be just wash, wax, could be that sort of stuff as well. I'm just trying to take a quick look, but well, you know what? Maybe that is what it is, ceramic coating. I'm seeing a lot of ceramic coating and waxing going on. Yeah, that might be what it is. Okay, that's fair. So first things first, name-wise, I probably would have, even if it was just Cool Dad Car Care or Cash Car Care or something like that, it's going to make it a lot easier to remember this channel. And then I don't know if they had anything for a banner or if they left it behind or didn't do it, or give me your value proposition. You already have your name there. There's no need to have your name twice. Let me know in 3 words or less what your channel's about. If you're doing auto detailing for beginners, whatever it might be, 3 words or less, give me the elevator pitch. That way I know that I'm on the right channel for what I'm looking for. And then secondarily, one of the other things that we've talked about multiple times is doing some thumbnail research, because a lot of these thumbnails are just not up to par with your competitors. They're just not. I mean, yeah, you got 2,000 subs, which is awesome, but these could be doing so much better if they were packaged better. So, like, I mean, even the ones where they got better views, those thumbnails were at least a bit more clear as to what the proposition was and what you were going to get from it.
I mean, the clue is in what you're talking about, isn't it? In that this should make your car look awesome.
Yep.
And yet the thumbnails don't reflect that.
Correct.
I think a really easy solution there, and do the thumbnail research for sure. I might be wrong, but take a panel of your car really close up when it's dirty, and not looking too good, and then get another shot of it looking,
Bang.
before and after, just like this. There you go, really close
Right
up.
there. Beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about. Like a before and after, that satisfying ending. I think this is great for like satisfactory, especially the car wash channel we saw earlier. Same advice to you. You could probably get a lot of people who are willing to watch just the satisfying, like ASMR, visual ASMR of like a car being, cleaned.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on this one, Heather?
I was looking at the titles also, just to try and see. And, one of my favorite tools is the vidIQ title tool. I love that you can type in the simple word. And so things like ceramic coating, they're doing a lot of videos on ceramic coating, gloss type things. So there's a lot of different ways that you could be going in and getting different titles as well. And also, one thing that I see that you're doing is you're doing videos about the products. So what I would like to see is like this product versus this product, because if I'm in a buying state, I would want to know what the difference of those two products could be. Those are just some of the different titling ideas that you could be doing for your videos. But I would also say too, like singular products are great, but what's really great too is if it's like clean your car in 20 minutes with these 3 things or something like that could allow for someone to have more opportunity to buy from you as a content creator. So they did one that was how to paint correctly using this polish beginners, and that was a step-by-step, but that's that blue one down there if you saw that before and after. But it doesn't give me enough before and after. So even to the point of before and after, like really giving me the ugly before and the amazing after. But I would say that this content creator too looks like you're creating content with your phone. And I would just say, research different shot options versus it being like, if you look at the one, watch this before you buy warrior all the way up to the top. Sorry. New videos he posted 2 weeks ago.
Oh, come on, click right place.
There we go. Okay, watch this before you buy. I like watch this before you buy. Great title. But when you click through and you get that little like image of what you're gonna see there we go, Dan. I can tell you're creating content with your phone. Great job on that. But like right away, I don't want to see you. I want to see the car right away. I want to see the car. I want to see what I'm actually going to get, not you explaining what you're going to do. I want to like, what's the before? What's the after? You need to give it to me quickly. And then you can start explaining. I know that was video explanation more so, but just helping this content creator out on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Oh no, agreed. And those tips that Heather just gave you would boost retention greatly by getting people to stop clicking off in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a classic case of hello, welcome to my channel, blah, 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 blah. Whereas what the viewer wants to see is that finished article. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this before I use it, but you gotta show me rather than telling me in that first 10 to 15 seconds. And also, Heather, thank you very much for the nice little plug there for the title generator. I just tried car detailing and it gave us a couple of options here, and I can keep going through them. It is giving us very basic tutorials here, but I think that's a good starting point, and it is one of our boost tools which you would get with the 35% offer that we currently have. So that was Cash the Cool Dad Car Care. And when I sorted by most popular, there was one thumbnail that just jumped out to me here. I thought this one was really interesting in it. It was showing me using the product and how it might impact the bonnet of my car. And I thought that's a good starting point for a thumbnail. I think if you could ratchet that up to 11 in terms of its punch and just a bit more detailing, that's where I think really good thumbnails are going to work on your channel. So that is their channel. And we'll move now on to the next gaming channel that we're going to audit here. And I know, Heather, do you fancy a challenge here? Do you fancy leading off?
Oh, okay. I will take all the challenges, Rob. I've learned from Dan over the years now, or not even maybe a year now of gaming channels, but I have no clue what game this is. That's okay though. I can just tell you objectively what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of randomness. So I don't actually know what game this is because I'm not seeing a consistency in the game right away. I'm also seeing right away titling. That's not giving me a clue. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. This is like a Blue's Clues, guys. You want to have the clues right away that you can say this is this type of channel. This channel is for this type of person. So that's just the right off the bat, a few things that I'm seeing. This, if I were to categorize this, looks like a hobby channel of someone who is just really, like Dan said, excited to get on the platform, start streaming on the platform, or start creating content on the platform. And so my encouragement would be great job of getting on YouTube and getting started. Now it's time to really dial in your value proposition of who you want to be playing games for, what type of entertainment you want to do, and getting more clear on what's going to actually get views for you. That's my gaming channel review,
Yeah.
Rob.
Never, you are getting the check mark. You have passed the gaming audit test. Thank you. Dan, anything else that we've noticed? I think Heather's probably pretty much covered it here in terms of lack of channel focus and titles that don't really tell us much about the video.
Yeah, that's everything that Heather just said. Everything that I said with the last review as well.
Now,
The last gaming review.
I guess what's interesting here is that even though this channel has a lot of randomness and they're playing lots of different games, they're getting the kind of views that we might expect, you know, like 30, 50, etc., which then leads me back to that fact channel and the fact and how that was getting 0 views and 1 views, even when a channel has a little focus and the titles are somewhat not where they should be. YouTube's still going to experiment and share the content. So that's why we're thinking that fact channel may want to think about starting a new channel and experimenting with their content.
Yeah, I think if this creator were to work on titles and thumbnails too, the view counts we're seeing tell us one thing. When people do give the videos a chance and they click into them, they're probably getting something out of them, you know, and YouTube tests them with a little bit, you know, a few more people. But, you know, if that click-through rate is low, it's just really tough to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is Pinkerson. I'll move on to the next channel. And Jeff, I'm going to nominate you to lead on this one. It is channel 589.
Oh, I'm having technical difficulties. Oh no. Just kidding.
No, you're not. That's why I can't pick that channel. Right.
What do we got?
We have got how to become more.
More what?
Yeah, good question. Let's find out. So the business success mindset coaching and mentoring for entrepreneurs. Just hit 300 subscribers.
All right. Let's see here. Sorry, I got to kind of zoom it in here a little bit so I can take a look. All right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, thumbnails are kind of all over the place. It almost feels like they're having someone do them, but I mean, the only thing tying them together is that how to become more logo thing that's placed throughout a lot of them. But aside from that, it's like they're thumbnails from different channels, every single one of them.
And first slide in a PowerPoint vibe.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So definitely a rework of the thumbnail strategy here. I'm assuming, at least I'm hoping, that they're looking at what people are doing in this space to get an idea of what's actually working. So competitor research is really important to figure out what kind of thumbnails, what kind of titles, and what kind of topics are actually getting people to click right now. Like what is actually working for them. So researching can kind of come in handy because I'm sure they know their stuff. I'm sure the narrator really knows their stuff, but it's organizing those thoughts into something that's going to make sense and actually get clicked on. So that'd be the first thing is I would have a reworking of the packaging here for sure.
Hello and welcome back. Press 1 from hownobecomemore.com. Today on Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, we're going to talk about...
Oof, that's some odd transitions going on there at the beginning of the video. Dan, any thoughts generally?
Yeah, so it's kind of what we see channels like this sometimes. They're giving very like general advice, like how to improve your confidence, right? And I feel like that video could be more targeted to a more specific audience. It's hard to compete with how to improve your confidence, you know. Is there a certain type of person that you could be helping with that kind of content.
Let's play with that a little bit then. So I'm going to ask a question to each of you. Let's pretend we're going to describe a target audience for this person. So Dan, if I was to ask you, what is the expected age of a person watching this channel, roughly speaking?
Probably, I'm just going to say probably younger, right? Like they don't have a ton of life experience.
Okay.
So they lack a little bit of confidence.
So I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking like maybe they're more mature people and they're looking for the next step in their career.
It could
be. So we've got a split idea on the audience there, which is
let's agree on this then. They're
Yeah.
looking for a new job, but they're having trouble with especially with the interview process, but really the whole thing. And when it comes to finding jobs, that you really need confidence in that process.
Heather, how much do you think the target audience earns, generally speaking? What is their average income?
I would probably say 50,000 to maybe 80,000 in terms of, I would think who he's targeting would be kind of that middle range employee.
So they're probably educated up to college levels. Sorry, I don't know how you describe it in the US. I'd say university education. And they're probably already in a full-time career, but they're maybe feeling a little bit lost or have hit a rut and they're trying to reignite their career. Might be a position. And then Jeff, if I was to ask you, do you think this person has is married, has any children, or like what do you reckon their favorite hobby is?
Yeah, I would say married with children for sure.
Right.
Probably like a family person, something along those lines. Hobby wise, that'd be kind of tough to say.
I know,
not 100% sure what that would be. Golf would be my guess, but I don't know. That's a little bit beyond what I'm doing here, but yeah, it's pretty interesting though. It's kind of an interesting thought process behind figuring out who their target might be.
So the reason I asked all of those questions is because we're trying to identify the ideal viewing candidate. Who would you like to speak to in every single video that you do? And then once you have that, you can then mold the video idea, the thumbnail and the title around that. And then when we go back to these thumbnails and titles, they don't feel as if they speak to any particular person in general, other than somebody who wants to become more, but that's such a broad thing. And I'm hoping that has a little bit of impact in terms of the pitch of the content, because it feels that it's not strong enough at this point.
And it's important to note as well, like we made that up, like that exercise that we did.
Yeah.
That was us just like, well, if we're putting us in your shoes, right? Like who would we want to target? So what we said might not resonate with you. Maybe you're like, no, that's not right. That's not right. I want to, but if you're already thinking that, then that's really good, because that means you have an idea of the kind of person that you want to target. And anybody can do this exercise. Anyone can sit down and think about this. And there's no necessarily wrong answers, right? You're trying to narrow down who your content is for. And then what you do is when you feel like you have that person, you go out and you do the research. Does this person even exist in the first place? And you're looking for similar YouTube channels that are targeting what you feel like is a similar audience. But we could say that this channel wants to target people who are not confident when they play video games. They're really bad at games where they're supposed to be doing shooting games, right? And they're trying to kill people, but they're always getting killed. So they need a little more confidence when they're playing. So it could be a totally different exercise depending on your channel. And I just wanted to get that out there. I don't want anyone to feel intimidated by this. This is like a fun exercise for you to do to help you.
Sure.
If I was them, how to become more, I would be looking at channels like Charisma on Command. So you can see where at a surface level, you wouldn't think that Charisma on Command's videos are all targeting the same person, because every video has a specific problem that they are addressing. But I can watch a bunch of their videos because it's stuff that makes sense going together. So, and they even have it broken down in a playlist and things of that nature based on what it is that you're trying to learn. Speak better on camera, whatever it might be. Be more engaging, get people to laugh, how to get people to like you instantly, stuff like that. So depending on the situation, they're making playlists situationally. But that'd be a channel that I would be looking at for sure to get an idea of how to target those audiences.
Absolutely. So that is how to become more. And we will pick another channel now from the gaming segment. And Do I put Jeff under a bit of pressure this time and have him audit a gaming channel? What do you reckon, Jeff? Are you up for the task? Are you up to the task?
Jeff's turn.
Silence.
Jeff
Silence.
unmuted to shrug.
Yeah.
Exactly. You caught that, huh? I'm like this right now.
All right then. Skin now. Skill later gaming. Shorts predominantly. Mobile Legends predominantly. Those are the focus. I think this might be a foreign language channel, maybe. Some of the titles.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's just check. So I don't think there's any voice narration on this.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Check another one. So essentially just short gaming clips from a particular game.
Okay.
We would usually have some thoughts on this, but just given the subscriber size approaching 1,000 and the view counts, they're onto something here with shorts, but it feels like they could do a lot more.
Yeah, no, interesting. Yeah, I mean, and I would probably stick with that anyway, because when they've done videos like, well, this one has a regular thumbnail, and it doesn't have the shorts label on it. So maybe they kind of slipped up and slid one through that wasn't actually a short.
Correct.
Yeah.
Landscape.
Yeah, stuff like this. So I would probably stay away from doing that unless you want to make a compilation of these and make it longer, and you could narrate it if you want, entirely up to you. But I would really stick with the shorts format, really kind of rock that, and just keep it going in that sense. Wouldn't be focusing on trying to do the other stuff that isn't really paying off for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll let you off the hook, Jeff. Dan, jump in. Spiky views, like some shorts get. I don't know how this is quite possible still in shorts, but for something to get 2 views, that's a long form piece of content. Sorry, these 2 are long forms.
Yeah.
We did just publish a video about why that happens. By the way, you'll get hundreds of views on a shorts and then nothing on a long form content. It's actually something if YouTube have done with the recommendation system, which is really odd. It's definitely worth watching. Dan, what do you think, just in terms of the shorts that you've seen?
I would agree with Jeff. It's going to be something that you want to stick with, double down on. I would be optimizing these as best you can. So the way to do this is to imagine, Heather, I think I said this last week while I was on your stream. Imagine the first 2 seconds of your short is kind of your thumbnail, right? It's the thing that's supposed to get people to stop scrolling through the shorts feed. Does it captivate people the second they stop scrolling? Does it make sense what's happening? And commentary and text can certainly help with that context at times. The ones that perform better than others in terms of views, I'd be looking at those and I'd be really considering, like, okay, how come this one got 2,000 views, but this one only got 100? There's a reason for that. It's not by accident. YouTube has a system for this to determine where it wants to distribute views across the short shelf. And there's a reason one video didn't do as well as the other. So you can do this by researching your own content, but I'd also encourage you to go out and watch other shorts and take note of every time you stop scrolling, and take note of every time you feel the urge to scroll away really quickly, and ask yourself, when you find yourself doing that, like, what was it about that short that made me scroll away? Maybe the audio quality was bad, or maybe it just didn't make sense. It's chances are a lot of times it could be a topic you're not interested in because shorts is trying to learn about you. But ignoring that, like, when you find something like, oh, it's about Mobile Legends, I should like this, why did I swipe away? Like, ask yourself these questions, and all of this can help optimize your shorts.
All right, then, that is Skin Now, Skill Later Gaming. We're going to pick another channel from the Claw, and I'm just going to give you a forewarning here, by the way. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to do something a little different. And in order to be involved in that, you will need to subscribe to the channel, and I'll explain why soon. So that's your forewarning. But for now, let's pick another channel from the non-gaming section. This is 488. And we are looking at a documentary channel, I believe. And they call themselves Top Viral Report TV. And so, Heather, if you just want to kick us off on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot happening here. And so I'm trying to take it all in really quick on what I'm seeing. So Top Viral Report TV. Are all those faces? Can you click through? Because is it all of those different faces are people they're reporting on? That's what I'm trying to figure out first. Is what am I looking at? What is the thumbnail? Okay. Okay, so it looks like they're taking different news clips, repurposing content.
Yeah.
So this to me is a React style channel or categorized in an entertainment style channel. Again, we're going back to red, Rob. So I don't know how you feel about red text.
Well,
Rob,
it's
on the
white.
channel.
It's white text on red background, which I think I'm going to allow. I think
Yeah.
that's all right for me.
But I'm seeing some red text on there that's got some white around it that's
Okay,
harder
yeah.
to see. Yeah.
I see that as well.
So this one, I would say this is entertainment style content. Looks like it's doing really well. I mean, 154,000 views. You know, you're getting some real big breakout videos. Did that say 660,000 views a month ago? So this person is definitely understanding the views aspect of YouTube specifically. And yeah, to me, this is reactive type content. What I would say that is amazing that other content creators could see is that they're definitely trend surfing. They are riding the most recent trend of whatever people are probably looking at, what people are interested in. So this is a trend surfing done right style channel. What do you guys see?
I guess what I do want to add is that the content looks to be of somewhat of a violent nature. And obviously being a universal PG live stream, I don't want to click into anything.
Good.
But I guess what I want to say is that so far it looks like you're following in the YouTube community guidelines. I don't know if your content is monetized. That might be a challenge and a question. It feels as if you're in a space that's probably not that competitive, which is allowing you to dominate the space, which is fantastic. I guess what I will just reiterate is with all of the content that you do, just make sure you're following the YouTube community guidelines so that you don't get in trouble on that side of it. That's just a general observation. And I'm speculating a bit here, and I do apologize if I'm misinterpreting the content, but it feels like it has that kind of like shock and awe style titles and thumbnails, which is probably winning you clicks. But is it going to cause problems with YouTube at some point down the line as you grow as a channel?
Yeah, again, my brain always goes to how are you making a business around this, or what is the outcome? What is the end result for a channel like this? That would be something to really contemplate of where this could go. You know, brands probably don't want to put their money behind content like this in terms of actually sponsoring your channel. I mean, to me, again, that you're right, Rob, on the idea of just like, where does this go? This is good views, but like unto what? Where is this going? What is the outcome? How are you trying to? I believe that we should be on these platforms to help and serve and grow. And so I would just be looking at this content and just saying, I mean, model wise, you're right. You are definitely doing that. But where do you want it to go? All into what end is where I want to know.
100%.
Yeah, I was just going to say, any more thoughts from Dan on Jeff before we move on?
No, I was just in a complete agreement with Heather on that one, because in their about section, they say that they're open for sponsorships, but you have to think about the marketability of the kind of content that you're making, because somebody has to put their money behind it. Cool. Can you pull views? Awesome. But are those going to convert, right? Are you pulling the right views for these brands? And that's what you kind of have to think about it. So again, establishing what your goal is for your channel is incredibly important at the beginning. Now, most people don't know that, but at some point, if you want to start a different channel and your goal is to make money, then the channel content wise will look completely different than this, because you have to think about it from the ground up. Do I want to turn this into a business? Then you start looking at what kind of niches that you're into, what kind of things that you're into that are monetizable on multiple levels, not just on AdSense, but affiliate marketing as well, potential partnerships, sponsorships, things of that nature. And not everything is good for that. That's just the bottom line. So just some thoughts around it. If they do want to move forward with that, they can keep doing this. Not a big deal, but business wise, I know if it was like I wanted to advertise, I wouldn't advertise on this channel. That's just me.
Yeah. And apologize if we're handling this channel with a little bit of delicacy, but you know, it's back to first impressions. These thumbnails and titles put me in a certain mindset of this channel. It's not something that I would want to watch, but it is something that many viewers would want to watch. And there is a place for it on YouTube as long as it's on the right side of the community guidelines. But it's just hard for us to really give you some sound advice without really going into the detail. But we'll move on. Thank you for all of the channel submissions, but we appreciate that not all of you who submitted may be watching the live stream anymore, but there are 600 people who are watching right now who I'm going to give a second chance to, and we're going to do that through random draws. So Jeff, Dan, Heather, do we have like a good word we could use, a magic word for the text that we could use for submissions? What do we think? I tell you what we're going to do. Car wash. No, we're not going to do badum dish. We're going to do car wash because we've audited a really interesting car wash channel today. So all you need to do only once, and I think I have turned on subscriber mode. So you can only comment now if you are subscribed. If you just comment, yeah, that's right. If you comment car wash, then we're going to randomly draw one of your channels for auditing coming up next. It's one of those cute little engagement strategies that I'm trying, thanks to Emily D. Baker's amazing vidIQ Max conversation she had, Jeff, with you and the vidIQ Max crew. We'll talk about
she's
vidIQ Max.
so insightful, man. I love speaking with her. It's super insightful, and yeah, she's got some awesome strategies for community building around live channels.
So our community building is blackmailing you into subscribing so that you put something in the chat, which then allows us to draw one of your channels for auditing. And sorry, my drum roll was completely out of sync there. Thank you. Critical Mass Gaming is who we are going to audit first. Now we have that slightly uncomfortable moment where we're not sure if we'll be able to find the channel. That is the right channel. We found them straight away. It's good. All right, 100 subscribers. Congratulations on that first milestone. Not seeing too much here yet, but I'm seeing Pokemon card vibes here. Let's see.
Yeah, it seems like so far an all-around Pokemon channel, right? There's the games, and then there's the trading cards.
And even though they are from the same IP franchise, the audiences actually can be very different, Dan, can't they? Because there are lots of Pokemon video games that all ages play, but I think when it comes to Pokemon trading cards and collecting, that seems to be somewhat more of a nostalgic thing for people who've been interested in the Pokemon universe for years and years. But again, I may be misaligning the Pokemon audience there a bit.
Yeah, we could be wrong, but it's just totally different style of content to go from the gameplay content to the trading cards. That being said, once you kind of experiment for a while, I mean, you did just kind of start getting back into YouTube. So I would be trying to figure out which do you like making more. Once you figure that out, the next step would be to jump on the trends in the community. So when it comes to Pokemon trading cards, there's always new packs being released. There's always bargain hunting videos that can be done. These packs are very rare. They can be hard to find. And then, of course, you can get into like collecting rare cards, hunting for them online and in thrift stores and wherever. And then there's the gaming side of it, where there's a new Pokemon game coming out later this year that's going to be huge. Everyone's really highly anticipating it, and you could be covering that game now. You could be making content around it today, talking about all the things you think are going to be in the game, things you want to see in the game, just speculation content. You can give any kind of news bits that come out about the game on your channel. So those are two very different channels that appeal to very different audiences, and they just happen to be about Pokemon. So when we say like you want to target the same audience, it's not enough to say, oh, well, it's just all things Pokemon. I think over time you can get there, but we're talking about a really long time of like establishing yourself in this community in a multitude of ways. And it's a lot easier and a lot quicker to grow if you just kind of pick a lane and really, become like the master of that space.
It seems like they have done more trading card videos, but their gaming videos have been more successful. So there's an interesting challenge there. And what I will just add as well in terms of YouTube community guidelines, again, I'm only speculating here. You're showing people how to download emulators and maybe get games for free. Just be careful of doing that, but you don't overstep your boundaries in terms of the legalities of these. Again, that's another just thing that as a new creator, you may see other creators doing this and think it's okay to do. Just be wary of that going forward as well.
By the way, car wash will only get read once by our tool. So you can type it once and then you can just chill out. You're in the drawing. It doesn't count multiple entries. So just a quick PSA.
And 360 of you have already done that. And it's Addminity who we're going to audit next. Their channel, if I can find it. Addminity seems pretty unique to me, and it is. And we have another gaming channel. This is a Minecraft channel. First thoughts, I'm seeing episode numbers. I'm seeing bright white backgrounds, which may be dominating the image a little bit because there's a lot of negative space, but they are sticking to the Minecraft content on a very regular basis.
Yeah.
General thoughts just flashing into my head here, Dan, as I look through it.
They're doing the Minecraft Let's Play thing, which is always fun. A really good way to kind of cut your teeth making YouTube content, but you will want to continually develop a strategy. The channel I point to when I see a channel like this, and a lot of you regulars will probably know what I'm about to say. Say it with me, Farzy. If you go to Farzy's channel, perfect example of somebody who got into the Minecraft Let's Play scene very recently, considering how long it's been around, and is on their way to 1 million subscribers. Rob, I don't know if you want to check out that channel. Great example.
Oh, okay then. Right.
Great example of titles, thumbnails, making a focused Minecraft video. 800,000. It was 700s when I was here last, and that was not long ago.
Because it gets 1 million views per video, Dan. It's incredible.
It is. It really is.
Wow.
If you are in vidIQ Max or thinking of joining vidIQ Max, maybe who knows, Farzy might be around. You just never know, because sometimes vidIQ Max has guests. But in any case, take a look at that channel and channels like it, channels you aspire to be like. And what do you note when you go to those channels? They're doing something similar to what you're doing, right? So I'm looking at the video on the right side in the second row. It's Barn Time, Surviving Minecraft episode 4. So in that episode, you obviously built a barn. It's about a barn, and I can see the barn. And what you've done is you've taken your character and you've put it over half the barn, and you've taken barn time and you've put it over the other part of the barn, and there's some other text over the other part of the barn. Yeah. But the barn looks really cool. Like when you zoom in on it, it actually looks really nice. And if you notice on Farzy's channel, and you'll notice this with other channels too, when you're good at building, you have a really cool visual element for your thumbnails. And you should absolutely be taking advantage of that when you take your thumbnail photo. If you've built an epic barn and you're going to title it Barn Time, let the barn be the star of the show.
I'm wondering if you could do a bit more with the titles as well, because they're all suffixed with Surviving Minecraft episode blah. Maybe you could retitle it as I survived Minecraft by building a barn. Or I survived Minecraft by base boosting my character. Or I survived Minecraft by standing on top of a lighthouse. Just think a bit more excitable.
Something like that. And then also it's the fact that it's a little more interesting, right? Like you're framing it like a challenge. But when you build something too, like you'll see a lot of creators use the build as a housing for other things. Like you built a barn for mutant cows, have fun with it. Really, get rid of the surviving Minecraft, blah, blah, blah. Like you built a barn for something, right? Like make your title and thumbnail represent what the video is about.
I'm concerned we're not going to be able to find Calvin here because I think the channel name is a little too generic, but we will try our best. Oh, it's not looking good. I'm sorry, Calvin.
Oh, poor Calvin.
That is one of the limitations of doing it this way. And one of the reasons why you should try to have a somewhat of a unique channel name.
That's what I was just going to say, Rob. I was going to say that right there shows you that you should have a name that is easily found on the YouTube platform.
I think we're going to have to draw again, unfortunately, there, Calvin. I'll just do a little bit more of a scroll, see if I can find you. Nah, I'm not seeing that profile picture, unfortunately. So, all right. Avenging Boss is the next one. It's a little bit of a shame that because I think we've done 3 gaming channels in a row now, and I was hoping for a bit more variety. And I don't know if this is going to be another gaming channel. It is a gaming channel. It's Beat Saber. You fall into the camp of either you played Beat Saber, you get VR, or you haven't played Beat Saber, and it just looks like it's an insane game that I would never play.
There are a lot of Beat Saber creators and in YouTube Shorts as well,
Yeah.
which is very interesting. So one thing you need to be doing, I think, if you're going to play Beat Saber, is you really have to get into, and you really need to get into how would you describe it? Is it modding, the side loading of like music,
Custom
basically?
music and stuff, yeah, and custom level creation.
Yeah, that's a huge thing in this space. They might. There's Stranger Things music is in there. Yeah, so I'm guessing they are side loading some songs, which is good.
So it looks as if they are just playing the game with perhaps custom songs in shorts. I don't think that's a bad idea of leveraging shorts and getting a decent amount of views on that, which is pretty cool.
I don't love this camera angle. It's kind of hard to get a perspective on like what notes are coming up next. And
True.
And it doesn't feel like they're, I also feel like they're just kind of using the songs and playing the game. But the videos that I've seen that are really successful in this space present a huge challenge. Like you'll see notes flying out like crazy, and you're watching this person hit pretty much all of them. And that's why I stopped scrolling on those, because I'm just kind of in awe of this person's skill. And this feels, when I'm watching these Beat Saber videos, they just kind of feel like, yeah, I could do that. And that's kind of like the problem, I think, in the space. You got to be like really good at Beat Saber or hilariously bad.
So I guess what you're trying to say here, Dan, is that maybe they've found a corner of YouTube that isn't well served yet, and that's why they're getting some good views, occasionally spiky views. But as potentially more competition comes into this space, they could be easily usurped by these creators who have better ideas and better execution on the content.
Yeah. And these channels are, they're definitely out there. I would be looking at them. They're doing short form, they're doing long form. So that would be my advice, I think, there.
All right, let's see if we can give Dan a rest.
It won't happen.
Let's get Heather and
you're doing
Jeff.
great, Dan. I was just introduced to what Beat Saber is, so I'm learning all the new things.
Oh, you gotta play Beat Saber.
Oh, Heather, you need to get a VR headset. Like,
I got one for Christmas, or my kids got one from Christmas from the grandparents. I've only done this roller coaster one that was insane, and that's the only like experience I've had with VR so far.
Beat Saber's great.
I'll try it. I'll try that.
Viona Zuma is our next channel, but I got to be honest, have no clue what this channel is about, other than maybe edits, memes of some Marvel stuff.
I'm definitely seeing games. If you scroll down, I'm seeing a couple more like game type stuff. Been creating on the platform 6 months, so congratulations on getting started. But there's also like when Elizabeth Olsen said, I don't think so, that the Elizabeth Olsen pieces added into this type of content feels very, very off to me.
Yeah. Like it belongs.
She posts Roblox and Marvel Edit.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Those two things are different, though. So that's the and, right? When we get to those ands, I do this and that. I do this and that is when it starts. That's a hard place to be. So I would say, Viona, definitely be figuring out what you would want your channel to be focused on. And it does, said my favorite movie are Marvel movies. And flowers. And so I would really I would really start to hone in more of what you want to do. But guys, 425,000 views already on this channel. So congratulations on throwing up some content and seeing what sticks.
Oh, it's from this one, is it? Okay.
Yeah. That's what I would. I agree with Heather on this one, though, because it's okay to have channels have kind of multiple themes, but you want those themes to be similar, right? So if you were doing like trying to do Marvel stuff in Roblox or, Minecraft or whatever it might be that you could tie into this Elizabeth Olsen stuff, then that sort of makes sense, right? Or, if we have a cooking channel that's doing breakfast recipes, but also happens to do lunch or snacks, fine. But when we're talking about a cooking channel, but that also does car washes, like, wait a minute, we're talking about two completely separate things here. So, and I get that as humans, we like multiple things, but I would separate this content for sure. I would have your Marvel stuff and the edits and stuff on one channel, do your gaming stuff on another channel. It's free to have channels, and just rock it that way. But on the same channel, it's going to be tough.
All right, I was going to do one more channel, and if it was like a non-gaming channel, we'd spend a little bit of time on it. But if it's a gaming channel, then we'll just like do one piece of advice from all of us. And it is a gaming channel, so we're just going to do one quick piece of advice from all of us. We'll start with the non-gaming channel auditors first to give them a chance to look at the easy stuff on this one. So for GOE Mafia, Jeff, what's one thing you would advise this channel to try and work on next?
I mean, firstly, if we're going to do long form content, as well as shorts on the long form videos, like this last one says the dog Arma 3, we gotta do some thumbnails. We gotta do some thumbnail work for sure.
Work on thumbnails. Heather, one piece of advice for this channel?
This channel looks like they're doing a lot of posting. So, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, I would really hone in on maybe choose 2 days a week to upload and really find great content to upload, because quality over quantity is always good on YouTube.
And Dan, if you were to give one piece of advice.
I noticed that their latest long form video is a machinima video. Machinima is like an art form that is just not around as much as it used to be. But you know what is really popular is role play. And if you're into kind of doing these sketches with your friends using video games, you could try a Halo or an Arma role play rather than a machinima, which is a term I think not a lot of people probably even remember.
And my advice would be, oh no, that we've run out of time. So frustrating. There we go. But we hope you got some valuable advice from Jeff, Dan, and Heather. This brings to an end another channel auditing session. An incredible 2 hours. We hope you got some really valuable advice. I want to say a huge thank you, as always, to Heather for joining us. Heather, remind us what's happening tomorrow with Think Media.
Yes, we have a free, that's free, FREE class for you if you want to learn how to grow on YouTube. We do these 2 times a month at Think Media, and it is not a class on YouTube. Like, you can't watch it on YouTube. You'd have to sign up and register for this free class. You're going to be learning some of the insights that have and some of the changes that are happening with YouTube, and also how to recession-proof your content. That's one of the things we're talking about right now over on YouTube. So you can learn this amazing case study that Sean has about one of our videos at thinkmasterclass.com.
Recession proof your content. I love that as an idea. Jeff, thank you for dashing home and being part of the live stream. A pleasure as always. Dan, you're not only a gaming expert, you're a live streaming expert, you're a video editing expert, and you can tell us a little bit more about what you're doing tomorrow on the stream. And also another question, am I joining you tomorrow? Because I don't know.
If you can, you're more than invited.
Yep.
We're going to be auditing or reviewing, whatever you want to call it, videos tomorrow. So very similar to what you saw today, except we're going to go into the content. We're going to talk about tactics people can be using to keep people watching. You've heard about titles and thumbnails today. What happens when people click into the video? You do not want it to be an utter disaster, and that's what we're going to help you avoid tomorrow.
Folks, I did not need to ask you to like this live stream, because when I checked, we had more likes than viewers about an hour ago. You're awesome. I love you all. We'll see you soon.